Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Econ Vision by your teaching buddy. Today I'm back with another video on arithmetic mean, which is in continuation to my last video in which we discussed about the calculation of direct method for AM, that is arithmetic mean. So today we are going to discuss our second method, that is shortcut method. In shortcut method, the why we have named it as in shortcut, because a very less complicated calculations are involved into it, and very direct way we can calculate these values which we have taken for the last particular question, right? So the formula for this is like x bar is equals to a plus summation d divided by an n. Now here we have to find this particular formula is for if I'm writing here as an n, this particular formula is for individual series. I have taken the same example as I have taken in the last video. For reason is that I want to make you understand that one question can be asked with any method. Like it can be asked from the direct method, it can be asked from the shortcut method, or it can be asked from the step deviation method, which that will be we will be discussing in our next video. In today's video I'll be only discussing about the shortcut method. So any formula can be asked for any particular question. So I have taken the same question which I have taken in the last video, right? Now according to an individual series I have to find two new things, and we already know that number of values that we have are known as n. The two new things we need to find, that is a and d. A is basically known as an assumed value which you have to find it out from the x value. You need to find this a value amongst your x values. Like as in the last video we know that the values of marks which we have are known as our x values. You need to assume any one value. Suppose I have assumed as in 50 my assumed value. This value 50 is my assumed value here. Okay, then I have to find d. D is basically a deviation, how your assumed value is deviated from your actual value. Deviation basically means how far or how close that value exists towards your value which you have assumed. Now d is to be find out from x minus a. That is, you have to subtract x minus a that you have assumed, and x is the value which you have taken for these marks. Now what will be the value for the first, that is 85 minus 50, that will be plus 35. Then you have to subtract 60 from the 50, that will be plus 10. Why I am writing sign with them? The reason being is this: there might be some values that will be coming in negative format, and we have to consider the signs positive as well as negative. Like as 50 has to be subtracted from 50, the answer will be 0. 75 subtracted from 50 will be 25, that is plus positive. Then we have to subtract 55 from 50, that is plus 5. Now 40 has to be subtracted from 50, so we'll get the answer minus 10. Then we are going to get the answer plus 5. Then we are going to get the answer plus 20. Then the minus 5 plus 50. Now this summation d basically means you have to add these d values. When you sum up these d values, now in summing up you need to consider that there are two negative values, one is minus 10 and one is minus 5. When you add them it becomes minus 15, and you have to add as you normally do in your integers part. Now when you do it in your integers part, you are basically going to get summation d as an 100. Now how you have to put these values in a formula? Our formula is something like this, where mean x is equals to a plus summation d by n. Then your mean value will be a. A is your assumed value which is 50, plus summation d has to be 100 which we have calculated, and the value for n is 10. When you cancel it, it becomes 50 plus 10, that is 60. 60 marks. Now this answer is same as we calculated from the direct method. So this is one of the way in which I wanted to tell you that it hardly matters you calculate from the direct method, you calculate it from shortcut method, or from the step deviation method, the answer which you are going to get will be similar. There can be just a pointer difference if you are taking any other assumed value. Suppose if you have taken 40 as in your 40 as your assumed value, there might be, it may be possible, it is not always, it may be possible that your answers are different, right? So do not worry about it, your answers are coming different from the different methods. But maximum number of time, if I speak in a percentage, it can be 99 times your answer are going to be same. It can be only 1% that your answers differ in pointers, and the difference will also come into like your continuous series and your discrete series. It is not going to come in your individual series. The answer for the individual series will remain same, right? Let's discuss about the discrete series also. Now in discrete series, the formula goes at something like this, that is x bar is equals to a plus summation f d divided by summation f. As we are aware about that, summation f is basically the 60, which is sum of this value. Now we have to assume any value. As we have done in the previous example, we have to assume it from an x, and for time being this is our x value, so we need to assume any of the values from this particular x. You can assume 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever the value you want, you can assume any of the values. Okay, for the time being I am assuming 40 as my assumed value. Okay, 40 as my assumed value. Now we'll follow the same steps. What we have to find, we have to find it at d. D is find out by x minus a. Now subtract 20 minus 40 will be minus 20, then 30 minus 40 minus 10, 0, 50 minus 40 plus 10 plus 20 plus 30. I guess it is right. Now what you have to find out is, you need to find out df. Df or fd, one of the same thing, that will be find it out by multiplying this value with the 8 value. Now when you multiply 20 with 8, you will get minus 60, then you are going to get minus 120, then you are going to get 0 plus 10 plus 120, then plus 120. Now you have to sum up these values, that will be summation of fd, that is plus 60. You have to consider your signs into it. If you forgot to consider the sign, your answers will get different, so do not forget to consider your sign. Now apply it in a formula. When you apply this in a formula, that will be a, your assumed value was 40, sum of fd was plus 60 divided by 60, so answer will be 40 plus 1, that is 41. 41 is your average marks. This is the same answer as we got in our direct method also, so the answers won't different in much of the cases, but it may be different in your continuous series. Okay, I think it's easy to calculate. If you still have doubt, you can comment down your doubts and ask for the other also. Now for the continuous series, our formula is same as in x bar is equals to 1 a plus summation f m divided by summation of f. Here m can be written as d also. This, now first you have to find m value for the continuous series. In the last video I have told how to find out m, that is for this was, it was 55, 65 and 75. Now you have to find d value, that will be m minus a. Why I am writing m here? Because for time being in continuous series, this m value is x. I have assumed the value 65 as an a value, so when I subtract 55 from the minus 60, 0 plus 10, right, then you have to multiply it with f, and you have to apply it in a formula as we did in our discrete series, and you will get the answer. The answer for this particular won't get different. The reason being is this, because these values are not in pointers very much. There might be a time when you will get a continuous series like 0 0.75 to 1 1 to 1.25, 1.25 to 1.50. This kind of an interval makes your answers different. So if you still have a doubt, you can comment it down. I thank you for watching it.